Good morning, stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo, and thanks for joining us on this magnificent Monday, July 2nd. You know what time it is, folks. It's time to top off your cup of coffee here with Stock Traders Talk Radio as we look through the markets. So open up your charts, turn on your scanners, and fire up those trading accounts. It's just going to be me, myself, and Sifakia this morning. Welcome to the show, Sifi. How you doing, bud?
Aloha, Sumo. Good to be here. I'm glad you're going to take up most of the airtime because I got a splitting headache, man, but I'm glad it's Monday, I tell you that.
Well, we certainly do miss our buddy Haas. Killing it with the DD. Man, that guy is incredible when it comes to digging through the filings and, looking at these companies and doing the proper research. I don't have his abilities, nor do I have Kopp's abilities. We've missed Kopp a little bit recently. He's been on a bit of a hiatus. But from what I hear, he's going to be getting back in the mix here real soon. So it's going to be fun to start hearing his DD and as he breaks down some of the filings. I'm certainly not anywhere near as good as those guys, but we definitely miss having them on the show. But I'm going to do what I can this morning. I'm just going to go over a bunch of hot plays that were looking good last week. There's a lot of good running stocks for Friday, despite it being a kind of a holiday weekend. I'm thinking this week should be rather slow with the 4th of July coming up on Wednesday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And why don't we just get into today's action? I got a list of tickers from what was hot over the weekend. And I just want to take a look at some charts. We'll talk about them. We'll create a little watch list. And we'll see what type of follow through that these plays had from last week into this week. And the first one I want to talk about is going to be ENTB. And again, I'm just going to go through the what the stock did on Friday, the chart, and then we'll move on to the next one. We'll create a nice watch list, and we'll see how these plays do out of the gate. The first one, like I said, is ENTB. Haas did a spotlight on this one a while back, I believe, and way back when we saw the nice run. It ran from 0015 all the way up to 027. She came down, had a dip, and found support above the 50-day moving average. So it fell below that 20-day, but found support above this 50-day, which is currently sitting at 063. And on Friday, she dipped and then closed above that 20-day. So she got back above that. So that's a good sign. Notice on this big run up, the volume really cranked up. And then as it saw the consolidation, the volume kind of tapered off, but it leveled off here. We're still getting consistent volume. You can see this volume is greater than this volume right here and this volume right here when it was light. So this is still consistent volume. Notice the RSI is coming back, pulled back, but it's bounced above the 50 overlay and it's above the 50 line. So that's showing some strength. This is a bearish cross. So we're going to be looking for these two lines to start to converge again and see a bullish cross. As well as the histogram, we'll be looking for those lines to start to turn over and get to the positive side. But the good thing about the PPO is it's holding above the 50 overlay. The only indicator that's not holding above the 50 overlay is the slow stow. So I'd like to see this slow stow turn around, turn up, and get back above the 50 overlay and get over the 50 line. So that's ENTB for you. And she closed up 42% on Friday. Closed at 012, which is triple 05 off the high day. The high day was 0125, so just a little bit short of that high day. But like I said, she closed above the 20-day moving average. I'd like to see this 20-day hold as support, and I'd like to see it get back above the 100-day, which is at 0155. And then we could, if all plays out, we could see a run back to recent highs of 027. So ENTB, definitely want to keep that one on the old watch list. All right, let's go check out MDMN. This one was buzzing quite a bit, and it had a nice spike on Friday. Notice it closed up 28.21%, and it saw a low of day of 075, and it closed at the high of day of 10 cents. And this is Medina Minerals Inc. on the pink sheets, MDMN. So look at this stock. Early in the year, January was as low as 7 cent range, ran as high as 17.9, and we saw a consolidation, a pullback. But notice where she found support, 067. She found support where she previously had support. So that's a good sign. She's holding this previous support, and we've seen a spike off of that support level to 094, a consolidation to find a higher support level at 073, and then Friday you're getting the bounce. Opened at the low a day, closed at the high a day. So that's showing some serious strength. And notice we punched through some key moving averages, got above the 20 and the 50. So according to stock charts, the next key resistance is going to be 011, and look at that, 0122, which is the 100-day. What I like about Friday's action is both getting above the 20-day and the 50-day. So I'd like to see it hold above those levels. So if we do see a pullback, I'd like to see it hold above this 20-day moving average, which is currently at 085. Notice the RSI got above the 50 overlay, came back and found support off the 50 overlay and held above it, and now we're going north. That RSI is looking strong. Looks like it wants to go up into the power zone. The blue bars in the histogram are in the positive here. This is a good sign. I'd like to see these continue to stack up to the positive side. And that PPO is showing some strength. It's above the 50 overlay as well as the slow stow. And the slow stow, you're getting a crossover here. So I'd like to see this red line come through and the black line get above it and separate, show some divergence. That'll be a positive indicator, and especially if this slow stow gets up into the power zone. So I'm liking the action on Medina Minerals on Friday, and I definitely like the look of the chart. So another one to add to the watch list. All right. Another one that I want to talk about here is one that is no stranger to us. IC Places. Been on the show several times. That Steve Samlis is a great guy to interview, and you know, we always look forward to hearing from him. Notice how the stock has had a huge run earlier in the year. A couple big runs from 0008 to 0065, consolidation. From 0011 to 0585, consolidation. Another little bounce here, but we saw a pullback. The key thing about this pullback is it held support on the 200-day moving average. Look at that candle. It kind of looks like a spinning top. Not sure what they would refer to this candle. I'm not the greatest at calling candles and what they're worth and so forth, but you'll have to look that one up. But notice it trended down, fell to about 0113, which is the 200-day moving average, and then closed at about 50% of whatever that day's range was. So on Friday, the day's range was a low of 0113, a high of 0175, and notice she closed at 0142, which is right in the middle of that range. So I want to definitely see it hold support at this 200-day moving average. That's going to be a key thing to watch out for. Notice the volume starting to pick back up. That's a good indicator. I want to see this RSI turn back up. This is looking a bit oversold to me right here at 34. So I want to see that one curl up and get above the 50 line and the 50 overlay, which she's got a ways to do that. You got the PPO still showing some divergence. They're not quite showing convergence yet like they want to pinch together. So these lines need to start working on pinching together and look for a crossover. and I want to see the PPO turn up and go towards that 50 overlay. You're getting that action here with the slow stow. These lines are starting to hook up. Cross is in the making. I want to see that cross take into effect and the slow stow turn back up to the north side. So I see places. I see PA. She's back on the watch list, and for all the right reasons. She's holding support at the 200-day, and that's what we want to watch for. We want to watch for a continuation of support at the 200-day moving average, which is currently at 0113. All right. Next one up, we'll go over to VDSC. Closed up 100%, 107%, 108% actually, if you want to round that up, 107.55% on Friday, and that was on 589,000 shares. It saw a low of 1 cent, a high of 4 cents, and closed at 2 cents. Look at that, CCI got through the 50 overlay and showed a ton of strength as it punched above the zero line. Notice the last time this CCI was in the power zone here, the stock had a nice run. Both times you see it was in the power zone, the stock moved up. In this time it went from, looks like about 3 to 9 cents, and then this last time here it went from 1 to 4 cents. So that's what you saw on Friday. The day before Friday it was as low as 1 cent. Boom, hit a high of like 4 cents. That's going to be a key resistance line, and that's also the 100-day moving average. We got above the 20-day here, which is currently at 02. So we want to see it hold above that 20-day moving average, and there's going to be key resistance at the 50. Actually, we didn't get above the 20-day. We closed at 2 cents. So needless to say, we want to see these indicators hold above this 50 overlay, and down here on the PPO I want to see this PPO get above the 50 overlay as well as the slow stow. So if all these indicators can get above that 50 overlay and hold above the 50 overlay, that'll continue to show strength, and that could be good for VDSC. So put it on the old watch list. We're going to see how she does.
You got some news on your VD.
All right. And if anybody's tuning in, you want to call up, we've been more than happy to take your call. The call-in number is 347-215-7181. We love hearing from our listeners. So, like I said, feel free to call up. Again, that number is 347-215-7181. All right, let's move along.
You got news on your VDSC there, Sumo.
Oh, good eye.
Executive management changes.
All right, I'll pull it up then. Let's take a look. Executive management changes on VDSC. Let's pull up the news. Let's see what they're talking about here. Bear with me. Don't mind the minor delay. July 2nd, so that's this morning. Alas International Holdings, aka PV Enterprises International, announces executive management changes. Planned since the reverse merger of last year, Edwin Salmon has resigned from his position as chairman and chief executive officer of the company and as member of its board of directors. In addition, Alvin Ayers has also resigned his position as secretary, treasurer, CFO, and board of directors, and Mark Ayers resigned as director. Currently serving as president and chief operating officer, Peter Viliotis will serve as chairman of the board and continue serving as president and chief. Okay, so looks like they're making that official announcement. As well as Mr. Viliotis, they got David Turner coming on as CFO, and he has over 25 years of experience with some pretty decent credentials, it looks like. All right, so no wonder why this thing started to get a jump up on Friday. There was some news coming, and it looks like the insiders were getting in there a little bit early. So we'll see what that one has to do. Let's see if they got anything out under any filings recently. Any updates. Quarterly report out June 8th, 2012. Yeah, we won't get into all that because, like I said, I'm not as good as Haas or Kopp or any of these guys, so I'm just going to stay away from that before I make myself look like an idiot. All right, let's move on to the next one. LBSR. This one had a nice day on Friday. That's Liberty Star Uranium and Metals Corp. They're trading on the bulletin board. Friday, Liberty Star saw a gain of 21.6% on 3.7 million in volume. Closed at 0.24. It was as low as 2 cents, hit a high of 0.25. So almost closed at the high of day. Look at that, our CCI, it's way up into the power zone, showing some serious strength. Looks like the stock came into some resistance at the 100-day moving average, but she broke through the 50-day moving average and has been holding, looks like above that 20-day pretty well. So moving forward, I'd like to see this one hold support above the 50-day moving average, which is at 2 cents. And I'd like to see it break resistance at the 2.5 cent mark. Next resistance is going to be the 0.27 mark, which is the 200-day moving average. And after that, 3 cents is going to be resistance. So a couple key resistance points to keep in mind. Notice the volume on Friday was good. Nice high volume bar there. RSI showing strength sharply up here, going into the power zone. Once it breaks this 70, it'll be up in the power zone. So that'll be very positive if that can happen. PPO and the histogram is all looking good. Notice the PPO is getting through the zero line, currently at 67.3. And those lines are showing some divergence. They're splitting apart. Same with the slow stow. These are starting to split apart, and it's above the 50 overlay. So look, she came down and touched the 50 overlay and held above it as support. Very nice sign. So I'm liking this chart on LBSR. Just want to see it get above these resistance points here and really build a head of steam, because you can see she ran to 0.428 back here earlier in the year, February. And if she can get above 3 cents, 0.27 and 3 cents, then it could really have a run to this 0.428. Notice the last time it punched through these moving averages, that's when it had that run to 0.428. So LBSR, one to add to the old watch list. And we got 10 minutes left before the bell, so I'm sure I got plenty of time to talk about a couple more tickers. Let's pull up another one here. UDHI. That's Union Dental Holdings Inc. It's on the pinks. Closed up 75% on 1.1 million shares. That's relatively light volume considering it's a 004 stock. Closed at 007, so roughly between $4,000 and $7,000 flowed through the stock on Friday, so not a whole lot of dollar volume. Key resistance points are 0057, 0083, 0096, and the support level is 0044. Notice the stock is holding all above all the moving averages here, which is a great sign. It had some patterns previously where it had some tough times getting above this 20-day. Look, it got above it here, but that was for a small stint. It was very light volume, and she pulled back below it. But then once we got above it, boom, you got a big candle here where it opened at the low of day, closed at the high of day. Like seeing that on a decent volume bar in comparison to volume in the past. RSI way up in the power zone, cranked up there. So not much volume, not much activity, not much of a chart, but we'll put it on the old watch list. Must have a low float if it's moving up that fast on that light of volume. UDHI. All right, let's take a look at the share structure real quick while I was talking about the float. I don't even know the company, but we'll just take a quick snapshot of what the share structure looks like. Give us an idea why it's moving like that. All right, 203 million shares outstanding as of March 31st. So, you know, not like this company's got billions and billions of shares out. I've seen other stocks that have lots more shares out in the same price range. So, you know, pretty low OS. Not sure what the float is, but decent sized OS. All right, we'll move right along here. Check out another ticker symbol. Let's go to BZRT. This one was a good bottom bouncer. That's BizRocket.com Inc. Trading on the pink sheets. Closed up 110% on Friday on a whopping 16.8 million in volume. It was as low as 0.125 at one point. It opened at 2.5 cents and hit a high of 4.7 before closing out at 4 cents. Look at this chart though. You can see it was a dead cat bounce. Came down, boom, found the bottom here, and look at this huge volume. The day before was big volume on the sell-off, and the sell-off continued into Friday until it found support, and then she just went ballistic after it found that support. Not quite sure if it's done finding support or if it's done being sold off. You see the huge volume. We'll see if it can hold a higher low than from Friday. That's what we'll be looking at into today's session. We want to see higher highs and higher lows to confirm an uptrend. Right. So right now we're seeing it bounce off of its bottom, but can it hold that bottom? BZRT, that's what we're looking at here. The RSI looking pretty oversold. Still hasn't shown me much strength. If it can get going north here and get above the 50 line and the 50 overlay, then we can show some strength there. PPO, still showing some divergence. These lines haven't shown me any convergence yet. They're not looking like they want to move together anytime soon, so that's got a little ways to go. The slow stow looks like it wants to hook up though, so that's a good indicator that looks almost ripe. But I want to see this cross over, and I want to see that slow stow get going north here and make a charge at the 50 line and the 50 overlay. So far she's found some support around 0.125. Let's see if today it can hold a higher high and a higher low. If she can hold support in the 2.5 cent range, that'd be a good scenario that we got a bottom in place. So BZRT added on the old radar.
They got news as well. They the board announces approval for share buyback. You might want to check that one out, Sumo.
Awesome. Let's take a look here. Today's news announces, just like what Siffy said, board approved share buyback. Okay. The board authorized a buyback of the company's free trading common shares. The resolution adopted authorizes the company to purchase up to 55 million common shares on the open market. The chief executive officer maintains authority for purchase discretion of periodic volume amounts and the timing of share purchases. The shares will be returned to the treasury of the company and may be used for issuances for future acquisition of companies which the company is either currently in negotiation with or seeking to acquire to enhance shareholder value. So that's a good sign. Looks like they're doing a buyback and they're going to use those shares for future acquisitions. And it looks like they're already in some negotiations with some possible acquisition candidates. So this is some good information here. Great news. The company recently concluded a revenue sharing letter agreement with Viral PWNage.com. online gaming site that has approximately 34 million participating players throughout the world, with a subset of 15 million participating players between the ages of 8 and 17. All right. So good stuff on BZRT. Wouldn't be surprised if we seen a gapper out of that. So bunch of hotties. We're creating a nice little watch list. It's going to be exciting to see what they do out of the gate. Instead of going over all the charts on these other ticker symbols, I'm just going to read them off, and we'll just add them to the old watch list just to see what they do. And one is MENI. That's Michael, Eddie, Nancy, India. AEGG. That's Alpha, Eddie, Georgia, Georgia. BWMS. That's Boy, Walter, Michael, Sally. And POCC. Papa, Oscar, Charlie, Charlie. We also got DGRI. David, George, Robert, India. And NPER, Nancy, Papa, Eddie, Robert. I believe that was everything that I had off of the list of the things that I wanted to go over. So I'm going to leave it at that. We got about 2 minutes till the bell rings. Going to pull up the quick scanner, see what's popping on it for pre-market volume. So far I only got 2 things showing up on the scanner. One is EWRL, which I'm not too confident in seeing much more upside out of this one. It's been pumped. Huge, paid promo on it last week. Had some nice dips and rips. I don't know if it's going to continue to see the bouncy action that it saw last week. Seems like they hammered it down at the end of the day on Friday. They got some supposed dividend that they're coming out with, but I don't buy into all the hype. So just throwing it out there, a little word of warning. Take it for what it's worth. EWRL. MYOS is the other one hitting the scanner. That's Michael, Yankee, Oscar, Sally. 45 cents. Actually, last trade at 48 cents. 17,000 shares in volume. PETI, Petty. Petron Energy 2. That's up a little bit, or no, down, gapping down 46% this morning. Last trade at 15 cents, 16 cents on 5 trades here pre-market. And boom, the market's open.
I'm going to say keep your eye on GWBU, Great Wall Builders.
Trying to find the opening bell. There it is. All right, we're off. Too bad I don't have my level 2s to pull up, but good thing Siffy's here. Got everything covered on the engineering aspect this morning. So he's running the level 2s, and right now he's got Great Wall Builders up there. That's GWBU, and she's up a little bit here this morning, but they really hammered this thing down on Friday, huh? GWBU, Great Wall Builders, is currently trading at 19.6 cents. I want to take a look at my emails that are rolling in. IC Places, ICPA up 26.76% here this morning. Siffy, get that watch list up. Let's take a look at all the tickers that we discussed pre-market and see what they're all doing. ICPA.
They're all. Good. I got them all ready to rock, man. You just tell me which one you want me to pull up, and I got you, Sumo.
Oh, I wanted a watch list of all of them.
Oh, you want to actually see them, huh?
Yeah, bud.
That's gonna block everything else. There's your watch list, but it's gonna block everything else. More better, you just say which one you want me to look at, and I'll pull it for you.
All right, let's take a look at LBSR.
LBSR, boom. There you go.
But that watch list looked like a lot of green, though. LBSR up 7% out of the gate. Looking good here. Donnie Darko in the chat room talking about ICPA. Big shouts outs to him. LBSR getting some nice bid support, looks like, on the level 2, huh? Showing some nice size on the bid on the LBSR. MJWL. Magic Wheels. Up 185% this morning. Last traded at 0075. Trying to look through my inbox right now. See, yep, I figured that was a promo play. Just looked at my inbox, saw some emails on MJWL. So keep that in mind. Probably some third parties out there looking to liquidate shares that are covering the cost of today's promo. BZRT looking good off of that news. Hitting my scanner. Siffy, you got that level 2 up. BZRT rocking here this morning, up 32.5% on 668,000 shares. That's 53 trades on the day. Yeah, BZRT showing some nice strength. Good, decent bid support there. Got 23,000 shares on the bid at 5.3 from UBSS. There's Knight at 5.25, and you got CSTI and E-Trade at 5 cents. So you got 4 market makers at 5 cents and above on the bid, and you got 3 market makers on the offer here at 0545 and below. So they just hit the bid out. Looks like it's going to pull back a little bit here. The low of the day on BZRT is 044. Hit a high a day of 0545. Vitable is making a move this morning on my scanner. The ticker symbol is VIBE, V-I-B-E. It's 024 by 0279. So a little bit of a loose spread there. It's up 123% on 1.12 million shares in volume. Magic Wheel MJWL was that promo play that I discussed briefly. It was at 0075, and now it's at a penny. It's up 257% on 3.1 million in volume. What was that other one that had news this morning that we looked at? It was VDSC. Let's take a look at that level 2. VDSC. Okay, VDSC is 2.5 cents by 0299. So pretty decent size bid support. You got 35,000 on the bid. We got J23 in the chat room talking about BBDA. How about that BBDA? She closed at 1.8 on Friday. Little gap up this morning, opened at 0019, and currently she's trading at the high of day of 0021 on just over 7 million in volume. So she's coming back strong, and it's on light volume. Interesting way that one ended the week last week. They came on the radio show Thursday. The stock was doing awesome. It hit a high of 0039. They came out with that news about Walmart, and you know what happens. People buy on rumor and sell on news, and they sold it off, and it found support around the 0012 range. And it saw a nice bounce on Friday, hit a high of 0022, I believe. So if it can get above that 0022, 0023 range, could quite possibly go back to the 003s. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see what else we got going on here. IC Places looking pretty strong this morning. She's up 32.39%. Last traded at 0188. But, you know, other than that, it should be a slow week. You got the holiday coming up Wednesday, like I mentioned earlier. Not looking for any crazy stuff to happen before that. I'm sure a lot of people are taking off early and starting their vacations. I know if I didn't have radio, I would be. But no, we're here for you, the listeners. We're dedicated support. All right. What else do we got happening here this morning? On the scanner, UNQT, that's Union Equity, traded 41 million shares, up 33% today. So that's 23 trades on the day on UNQT. Last traded at 0004.
Oh yeah, buddy. Wasn't gonna say much today, but I gotta talk about Apple. Let's check it out. Going higher, Sumo.
Hey, don't forget, I'm in some of those $600 calls.
Nice,
with
buddy.
you.
I'm glad you finally got into it. We talked about that Apple July $600 call. we alerted this at 4 and at 3. You can see right now it's hitting $8. It's 780 by 790. Hit a high of 795. So I'm liking this going forward. And the thought behind this when we were pulling the trigger at 3 was that Apple was going to move into its earnings. I believe it hasn't been confirmed, but I believe the earnings are on July 16th. This is the July 21st option. And the thought behind this was that Apple was actually going to be around 610 to 615. Now, of course, this is pure speculation, but 610 to 615 come earnings, putting me about $15 in the money, making this thing probably around between 15 and 17 with the premium that's in it. And then going into earnings, I'm looking for a 10 to 15% move, obviously north, which would put me in the multiple of between 660, 675, putting me 60 to $75 in the money, making this option that I paid $3 for, which is now at 8, worth 70 bucks plus, you know, whatever I am in the money. So that's the thought going into this. God willing, we are looking at what is that? How many bags is that, Sumo?
A freaking 15 or 20 bagger.
Boom, I'll take
at
it.
$3. Yeah, at $3, 60 bucks.
Oh, we've
in
already
money.
we've already
That's
doubled our money.
bagger.
It's hitting $8 right now. There's your 8 right there on deck. Bam, 8's printed, baby. 810 on deck. This is the power of options. You see, Apple is up a whole 0.93%, and our Apple option is up 38.62%. So you can see this thing already traded at $70 back in the day. So hey, let's get a retrace, baby. We're about ready to break through this 20 MA. This is a daily chart you're looking at, obviously, of Apple, but yeah, loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay, I'm going back on mute. My head's pounding. Just had to throw that in there. I'm so excited.
A little bit delayed on my computer. It's not running as fast as I'd like it to this morning. Otherwise, I'd have the sound bites ready to go. I was ready to hit you with one, but not happening today. That Apple, though.
You gotta be kidding me. Who the hell told us to buy that piece of shit?
We've been nailing it. It's a lot of fun, that's for sure. You got to expect with some of those new products rolling out, you know, the last time they came out with these earnings, boom, you saw what happened. Had a monster rally, and I got to guess it's going to happen again. So I'm excited. BBDA, looking good. 0019, 0021. Holding support at that 0019 today, so nice to see it hold higher lows.
So much for being quiet. I got to give a shout out for this one because we were all over it. Yippee. We said, hey man, it's coming down. This thing's just been tanking like a lanking, and you can see it's at 111 by 116 now. I mean, this thing was below 60 cents, and it was a screaming buy. And that's why I wanted to, this morning I said keep your eye on GWBU, because you can see it's almost identical in the nature of a death drop. So keep your eyes on it. GWBU. This thing hit almost like 12 cents on Friday. That was a screaming buy. This thing was $1.80, and it went down in a matter of a week to 20 cents. Kind of like Yippee, kind of like a lot of these big promos. But when you have that massive amount of money coming in and then going out, there's a bounce in store. So,
you know what? I got another one to put on your watch list that I saw that tank-a-lanked last week is OMVE. Seems to be finding support around a nickel. And this is another one of those promo things that's been hyped a lot before, and it's had some little moves here and there, but they really crushed it hard last week, and it seems to have found support around a nickel. It'll be interesting to see if it can hold that support and what she does from here. But OMVE currently 062 by 0648. Light volume today, only 66,500 shares.
Oh yeah, look at that, Sumo. We just talked about it. It was setting at $8, guys. It is now at $8.80 and moving north quicker than you know what through a goose. You got Apple up 1.23%, and our Apple 600 call is at 870 by 890 now, and just cranking. I mean, put it this way, guys. You look at this stock right here, Apple, 600 call at $9. So essentially you're saying you're really going to start making a lot of money when this thing moves above, well, at expiration anyways, you need to be above that 609 to be making money. But as of now, you can see how this thing moves in tandem with Apple. I mean, Apple is up a whole 1.33%. This is almost up 60%. And unbelievable. The strategy's working out, Sumo. Congrats.
Hey, Vibe. Remember, it was hitting my scanner below 3 cents. It just poked through 3-cent mark. 2.5 million shares. It's the fourth largest volume leader on my scanner with 118 trades off this morning, up 148%. Vibe, that's the Momo play of the day. Wow, 032 by 0326. Nice. That's why you always got to tune in to STT Radio, baby. We catch the winners and we catch them early. Man, I'm excited for those Apple earnings to come.
910. How you like me now, Sumo?
And it's just a holiday week. It's going to be a short week. We got Wednesday off. So, man, this thing's beasting early in the week. It's exciting. I'm going to be looking to load up on some more contracts on the pullback. Look at that support.
I mean, we tried handing this to the peeps on a silver platter. I got a lot of slack on Apple. Everybody and their mother thought it was going down. That just made me more bullish.
Well, like I was saying, they got more products coming out. A lot of people are anticipating that iPhone 5S or whatever it is. You know, I got the 4S. That was the most recent one that came out. And, you know, people are still crazed about that with Surrey. And, you know, a lot of people are still buying that. But I think when that new one drops, it's just going to be the craze all over again. You're going to see people rushing to the stores to go get it. Yesterday I was watching TV. I saw the commercial for the new PowerBook. Man, that thing is sharp. Those commercials get me every time. Made me want to go out there and buy it. You know, the products are expensive, but they also have the longevity. The products last a long time. You're paying for a totally separate type of product. It's not a PC. It's an Apple. You don't get the viruses that you get with PC. So, you know, most of these people, when they go Apple, they don't go back. And when they get one product, they get attached to it, and then as soon as the new one comes out, they got to go out and they got to get it. That's how that's how it is, and that's how Apple is always able to blow people away every time they come out with their earnings. Vibe continuing to buzz. It's 0325 by 0338. VIBE. I think it was around 2.5 cents when I caught it on the scanner this morning. She just continues to beast along here. Boom, she just went up to number 2 spot on the volume actives on my list. Above that is BZRT. That's got 148 trades. And Vibe has 141 trades. So a lot of trading activity going on in these two stocks today.
Sorry, Sumo. Just had to hop in on you here real quick because I got a couple people asking me about Apple. I'm actually locking in my profits as we speak on this July 600 call. Just because you can see here the Apple 5 minutes rolling over a little bit. You could get a lot of premium sucked out. I'm up over 200%. Well, not anymore, but I was. So, you know, you got to lock them in while you can. But I'm not taking this off the radar. I want back in. I want this $600 call going into the earnings. But as for now, taking some profits. Sorry, Sumo. Back to you, man.
No problem. That's okay. You just reminded me that I should take some profits too. Anytime you want to interrupt me about what you're trading, please. I'm just going to follow your lead, Siffy. Every time I veer off course and I don't follow your lead is when I get hurt.
Oh, that's sweet of you, man. I don't know about true, but very sweet.
ACTC. Moving up the scanner a little bit here. That's Advanced Cell Tech. Trading 33 trades on the day. That's 509,000 shares in volume. Last trade 062. And Vibe just beasted to the top of the scanner. It's #1 on my list for the most trades. She just boosted up to 164 trades now. 2.9 million in volume. Last trade 0337. Man, I'm working on a slow connection this morning. It sucks. My computer got hacked over the weekend. Somebody was sending out spam through my email. Man, the internet is just plagued with hackers. You got to really keep your stuff tight. Be sure to change your passwords frequently. There's just bad people floating around on this internet, boy. Vibe. 174 trades now. 3 million in volume. Up 169%. Pull up that watch list again. Let's just take a look at the whole watch list and see how much green is actually on the watch list.
It's looking pretty good, man. Pretty good. More green than red.
I think we should start doing a Friday, like, afternoon show. Maybe like a midday or like a, I don't know, just an idea, just to see what's got momentum on a Friday and
That's a good idea.
talk about them, because chances are stocks that have momentum into a Friday, especially before a holiday, because it's an extra slow Friday. You know, if you see some stocks taking off on a Friday, chances are they're going to have some momentum, and Monday will be an exciting day. Just some food for thought.
Food for thought. Sorry, I had to go back over to Apple.
Oh no, I love Apple.
Sprint still going. 333 by 334, boys. Lovely. And I sold at 308. Damn, but that was a great move from that 230 that we called on the radio. Very nice. Check this out. TVIX, boys. 454 by 455. Down another 7% today. This thing is so disconnected with the VIX, because the VIX is actually up 1% today at 1723. So, man, I tell you, this thing ain't even a good trading vehicle anymore, which is just sad. But I keep it on the watch list because it will have its moment. I haven't figured out how to exactly read her yet because she's just so disconnected. But, yeah, not really liking the whole volatility thing. The VXX, the TVIX, all of those ones. I mean, if I'm going to play volatility, I'm just sticking to the VIX and I'm playing the options. Last couple of moves on those I did well, but I'm starting to look back into it. They're still a little bit pricey for your protection, so keep that in mind. But you want to buy protection when you can, not when you have to. No, you've heard me say that before, but yep. Anyways, Apple trading down a little bit here.
What did that call? What was the high on it?
The high was 915. I got out at 880, so it's at 840 by 855 now. So keep your eye on it. I definitely think this is going higher. I mean, you heard what I was proposing at the beginning of the show. Obviously, Apple going higher all the way into earnings, and then, you know, I'm trying to envision Apple breaking its 52-week high after earnings. which would be looking pretty sweet. And I mean, we've only seen it happen the last 4 earnings in a row, and I never miss Apple earnings, never. When you got a stock that's a high multiple like Apple, and you've got the chance of something swinging 50, 60, 70 points, that's how you push yourself into the money. So when you find these plays, you just look out, speculate, because that's what we do as investors, is we speculate. But you do your speculation with numbers. It's a controlled risk environment. I can tell you exactly how much money I'm going to make if the underlying stock does what my speculation is proposed to do.
Well, look what happened with Smith & Wesson.
Why is it down?
No, but you knew the earnings were coming on that thing, and you looked into it so long in advance, and look what happened to that one last week when they had their earnings.
Boom.
It went up 20%.
I'll tell you something about Smith & Wesson. We talked about Smith & Wesson when it was around $2.50, and we said that this thing had been underperforming to Ruger, which is ticker RGR, big time. And technically didn't really make a lot of sense because Ruger actually had a lot of problems with their guns, a lot of manufacturing defects. I'm sure you saw the CMB show. I don't know the whole story, but I guess they worked it out because the thing just went ape shit. But Smith & Wesson was lagging big time. We saw it on the indicator. We put a price target of almost $7 on this thing from $2.50. People thought we were idiots. Now look at it, 846 by 847. Who's the idiot now? Only me for selling around 4. Oh well, what you gonna do? Can't hold them all forever.
Vibe continuing to buzz and just grow in vibes.
Vibby.
035 is up.
Dang. Nice catch, Sumo. Nice catch.
She's just rolling.
We got somebody in the chat room that was asking about NOUV. 134 by 135, up 22%. Not looking bad, not looking bad at all. Hey, check out this piece of crap. EKDKQ, Eastman Kodak. It's been coming off the bottom. Looking pretty good at 23 cents. I don't know what the move is here, if it's even worth doing anything with, but you can see on this chart here, this is a daily, and you can see it had, all this resistance right through here, and looks like it's going to try to move up to that 100-day MA up there at 26, 27. But keep your eye on it. It's one of my bags. I don't know why I didn't sell those free shares. I don't know. Who knows?
And what else we got this morning here? Not a whole heck of a lot, but Vibe definitely
INR. It's up 50%, 1.7 by 1.8. It's trying to show a breakout of some moving averages heading towards this 200 MA. Internet Array. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but it's hitting the scanner. Vibe is 21 times its average daily volume right now. So, that thing's booming.
LBSR. We talked about that one pre-market. It's up 19% on over 1 million shares, 35 trades. Nice follow through there. And Medina Minerals, we talked about that one a little bit pre-market. It's traded 903,000 shares, although it's down 10%. It's holding at 089 by 092.
Yeah, my computer's running slow right now.
AHRO, I saw you pull up a level 2 on that earlier. It's up 27% on light volume, 7,100 shares traded. Last at 97 cents.
The Vibe is trying to run.
Trying to.
She's got trying to break out of that 200 MA. I mean, it's running. I mean, without pulling back and giving it all back, Hate the gap and trap. And this one's looking like it might actually hold some of these gains here. We'll see how long. Be careful, guys, when you're up 186%.
That's right. You see profits, be sure to lock those profits in any chance you can. Protect those profits.
I mean, perfect example, look at the Apple here. It's down to 750 now. We saw that thing hit 9. We saw that thing hit, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, yep. My computer is running slow as can be here. Anyways, that Apple calls down to 720 by 735 now. So, that's why we take our profits. Man, my computer's jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I'm having
you can see that pullback there on Apple.
I'm having a lot of lag this morning myself, and we pushed it through 10 o'clock. I think we had a great show this morning, Siffy, and I'm about ready to wrap it up. How about you?
Man. You ripped it, Sumo. Good job, my brother.
Well, thanks for tuning in as always. We appreciate the support, and be sure to tune back in the rest of the week. We're taking Wednesday off for the holiday, but we'll be back tomorrow. See you at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stock Traders Talk Radio, we're out.
Aloha.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.